Now, if you're trying to squat in the downswing like the best players in the world, but you just hit the ball worse, you hit the ball shorter, and you just can't do it right. You feel like it's a useless move. And I can tell you what, it is not a useless move. It is just you're doing 3 things here which no coach ever tells you about. And that's why you can't make that squat work. So if you want that top tour player level squat to get that good power, use that vertical force, which is the biggest power producer in the golf swing, you need to fix these and learn to do it properly. Let's get straight into it. Now, the first reason here why your squat is not working for you in your attempt to do it is because of how you're moving in your backswing. So this is where it comes from a lot of golfers' intent of how much squat they're even trying to get. So we're gonna dive into that. So a lot of players do this. So they will move down in the downswing too much, which then gets them so low with their swing arc that then they think, okay, I really need to squat more now. I'm gonna squat. So they lower down anticipation, lower down even more, and now the swing arc is dead in the ground. The only way for you to be able to hit that ball solidly is for you to stand up, which you might think, oh, okay, that's me having the force going down and spiking back up, but not like that. So this is where a lot of golfers have with their intent and have in their mind that a squat is literally like a barbell squat in the gym. It's that level of getting down. A squat in the golf swing is nowhere near that amount of lowering. It is a very small movement. The guys like Victor Hovland and Roy McIlroy, they're the ones who do it the most. But that doesn't mean and doesn't say that we don't need to squat. So a lot of golfers, just knowing that, they're going to stop okay, then moving down in that backswing. So when we see, again, that moving down, and they move down more, it's just not going to work. You're not going to hit the ball solidly at all. So don't worry about trying to squat down a ton. And that thought alone is going to keep you taller in the backswing, either keeping your height or slightly moving down, which we're going to talk about in a minute. But that's going to make you in a good spot where then if you have a nice squat, a nice adequate amount of movement down, which is just a small amount, you're then going to hit the ball better and actually get the vertical force that you'll be producing from that motion and hitting much nicer shots. So if you're really struggling with this and you can, let's say you're putting a line on the top of your head when you're analyzing your swing, you're just moving down a ton. Here's a great drill to do. Just get yourself opposite a wall, really about half a club's distance or so. Grip the club right down by the club head rear, the shaft. And as you turn, just make sure the head isn't going and hitting the wall. Because if you lower down, you're also going to go slightly forward. So your head will just start to hit the wall. So get that feeling, get that sensation. That's going to keep you a little bit taller. We don't mind a little movement down, which we're going to talk about in the next bit. But again, it's not a huge motion, that squat. So don't move down in the backswing too much in anticipation. Okay, so second thing, this might seem completely contradictory to the first point, but you're not squatting early enough. Sounds it, doesn't it? But there's a nuance there. So what we're not doing this, just going straight down too early. What we are doing, which we see all the best players in the world do, they will do this. So very slight thing I'm doing there. As I'm getting up to the top of my backswing, moving my pressure into the left side. So again, this little squat, loading, squatting left as I'm completing my backswing. So really from left arm parallel to up the top, I'm feeling that little motion. It's a very minor, small thing, but that's where we see the best players in the world will have a touch, a touch of a lower down as they're completing their backswing. That's because they're loading into their side. Even guys with really short swings, you see like John Rahm does that. If we don't do that, we could still squat down and be somewhat successful, but we might struggle if we do it wrong with low point control. So you might hit it a little bit chunky like that one there. Whereas if we're getting into that lead side a little bit earlier, boom. So as I'm completing the top of my swing, I'm loading that pressure into the left side, which is getting me shifting early. Great for you, again, if you struggle with low point control. But we're getting that pressure moving into that lead side because the target is on that lead side. So then as we start coming down, we're putting more force into that ground earlier and then going boom, get it coming straight back out the ground like someone coming down and then back up. We're just loading into that left side a little bit earlier. I like to reframe squatting for a lot of my students as squatting left. That is a big, big one. So really feeling like as we're getting up to the top, we're getting to that left side a little bit earlier. Feel a little bit patient as you're doing it. That's going to really help your ability to be able to create the movement. Brilliant. Hard for me to personally do because of my cerebral palsy I have, which affects my left side. So as you can imagine, a tough one for me to get there early. I get there just about in transition in time, something I've really struggled with in the past. But for a lot of you guys, my cerebral palsy doesn't affect my right side. I should have started playing golf left-handed way back in the day. It feels no issue to be able to do that because the right side's more normal. So you're gonna have no issue with this, but I'm gonna teach you a drill to really get it nicely. Okay, so the drill to do for this is one of my favorites. Again, very difficult, especially for myself, like with what I said I have, and ultimately it's called a step through drill. So we set up right like normal, so pretty middle wall position. Left foot to right foot, club out the middle of the stance there, this tiny wee little stance. And as soon as I take the club back, boom, we step. So it's again us exaggerating that early step. So again, club behind the ball, over to middle of the stance, left foot to right. Soon as I take the club back, step. So it's exaggerating that motion. Then again, we have to exaggerate to fix anything, but this will not only get that vertical force spiking better because you're loading into that left side quicker, but it will also really help you for your lateral shifting. Now, this doesn't mean, guys, that we just need to stay left the entire time. If we stay in stacked left, what we see from most golfers is they'll just back up and away out the shot and have low point issues. So we still have that weight as we are, let's say in a normal swing, go into the inside, load into that trail hip, go into the inside of that right foot, loading up nicely, turning around that femur there. And that still, as we're then getting up to the top, we still have that motion. Again, the step through drill is teaching that. So teaching you, that makes sense, doesn't it? Teaching you, that's the word. That's the two words. So, okay, here we go. Now, step through, hit the ball. There we go. So as you can see, I can't keep balance doing that because of my cerebral palsy, but it is a great one. This was such an instrumental drill for myself. I used to be a chronic rusher of the downswing, which I can still do every now and again, especially under pressure, could get a little bit quick. I don't get onto left side quick enough for obvious reasons. So this was a drill one of my coaches way back in the day showed me to do, and I don't think I would have ever got to the standing of being a pro if I didn't do this drill. Very, very good one for so many reasons. If you rush the downswing, big time as well. Not only for getting that wee little squat. Again, hard one to do. Again, that was a thinny strike, challenging drill. But again, if a drill's challenging, so I tell all my students, that means you've got to do it. This means you've got to do it more. Again, check if you're doing it correctly, of course. But if you're doing it correctly and you're struggling with it, that's telling you it's targeting a weak area like myself. So absolutely, squat left as you're completing the top of the backswing. Let's get into the next one. Okay, so the next drill here is one that I call, or next drill, sorry, we're gonna get into that. This next thing that is stopping you from being able to squat functionally is what I call the country club squat. So with the country club squat, what we see players do is they just squat. Sounds obvious, doesn't it? But as you can see, zero power comes from that. So they're just squatting dead straight down. We need to move to the left. We need to do that. We can't just squat dead straight down. All that's doing is getting the swing arc moving lower. There's nothing helping you for low point. There's nothing helping you for rotation from there. You can't just squat dead straight down. It's doing not only nothing, it's hurting you massively doing that. So we don't want to do it. Okay, so we've got to stop that country club squat. What we've got to do is, of course, this now ties really nicely into the second point, because when we get that pressure left early, which we've already established, I like players to start to feel something that really gets them into that squatted position, but rotates them and keeps them down in posture really well. And what it is, it's left side flexion. So moving that left hip back, moving the left hip deeper. If you move that left hip deeper as you turn down the downswing, you're going to see how it's going to keep you flexed, keep you down in that squatted motion. But if you keep doing that going through the golf ball, it starts to extend the left leg, which is ultimately what gets the squat power coming back out into the golf ball, is that extension through the golf ball. But we're doing that via the left side pushing back. So this is where, even if I just exaggerate up here, up to the top of my right arm, I push my left hip back, just a bit of exaggeration. Look what happens to my body. I'm not trying to squat, not trying to lower, but that's exactly what's happening. If I'm getting pressure left at the same time, I'm golden. So and just keep that hip going back. Really simple way of viewing it. Could be for some golfers too simplistic, but I think with golf, golf's hard. Let's keep it simple. So that's where if you get that left hip going back and back and back, you're gonna be in a really good spot. You're gonna be getting into left hip That's what's wrong with my words today. Left hip flexion, left hip being deeper. And it really helps you hit some great, great shots there. Awesome. So it's going to get you into that natural squat. We don't just country club it. We get into that left side and move it deeper, like with Tommy Fleetwood, like with Justin Rose. We even see Tiger Woods. Boom. Really famous clip of Tiger Woods there. Him out here with his hand. Quite a funny looking clip, but then what he's doing, he's really trying to get himself into flexion. Again, who knows what he might actually be doing with that, but we can see he is getting into flexion. That's lowering him down, looking like he's in some crazy squat. Again, really, really good one to do. Got a great drill for that. My drill for this is something I talk about a lot on the channel over the years, and that is with a chair, a stool, a golf bag, anything like that. Let's say I'm hitting the ball in that direction, which I'm not going to do. Let's imagine. You can see the stool here. I've got it about half a grip's distance behind my left hip. I really want to feel okay. Boom, I'm getting into that left side. You can see it's not directly behind my hip, it's again about half behind that left leg. It's encouraging me to get onto that left side and get the left hip back, so I want to touch the stool. Great one to do. Even if we don't exactly touch it, that intent is going to help us a lot. This is a good one just to encapsulate everything we've really talked about. So it's a really, really good one to do in so many ways. So again, about half a grip's distance. Our intent is to hit it, which will get that left hip going back. It'll get that pressure loading early in anticipation for that as well. So let's give it a go. Let's hit a shot. So again, I actually didn't hit it there, but that intent of me trying, I would have got into a much better position doing so. And again, it's such an important thing, because what you'll see is it looks like I'm barely squatting, if anything, and that is absolutely the point. We only see a few guys out there on tour who squat a lot. But it's still a motion that even for us, that it doesn't look like we're doing, we're still loading vertical force. So that's where you will still need to practice this, absolutely, in your golf swing. If you're lacking a little bit of power, maybe even lacking a little bit of control, getting yourself to use your vertical force a little bit better in this very simple way would be a great thing to do. Even if it doesn't look like you're squatting, doesn't mean you're not doing the motion. So that could be a lot of you out there. You might already be squatting. You're just expecting too much out of the squat. So that might be a bit of a boring if that was the whole video. Here we go, another one. Oh, that was good. Lovely, really felt like I could get through the ball and whipped through it nicely with my body there. Awesome, so we've got plenty of little drills to do here. You've got to know exactly what one of these you're struggling with the most. You don't need to work on them all. You can absolutely go, okay, that's the one I'm focusing on. That's the one I'm struggling with. Let's go and do those drills to fix that. Keeps the thoughts at a minimal amount as well. So you've got to know exactly what you're doing with your golf swing. Know your golf swing to be able to pick out the ones from these videos nice. And if you need help with that, of what you need to do exactly with your golf swing, you need one-to-one help with myself. We can do that anywhere in the world online on Skillist. So all you can do is send in your swing videos to me and I'll analyze them and I'll get it straight back to it. And if you want to have a little taste at first, there is a free swing analysis option as well. So send that in and I'll be able to, again, give you my opinion on your swing and exactly what you got to do going forward. So if you enjoyed this video, you now know what you need to do to be able to squat better and function, and why you can't squat to begin with. Click that like button, and if you want more golf instruction just like this, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell button too to be notified every time I put out a video.